Alright, I'm gonna start making some prepping videos. If you don't like prepping, you think it's crazy, just don't watch them. I originally was gonna make a video about these buckets that Walmart has. I was gonna open one and try it out, but it's just fucking food. It ain't freeze dried. There ain't nothing special about it. It's just vacuum sealed in some Mylar bags. And these buckets are cool. It's a good idea. 20 bucks. But what you need to realize is if you're going to stockpile these, that every bucket has the same shit in it. And you're going to get tired of eating that same shit. So I'm going to show you how to make your own buckets. I'm going to show you how to make your own buckets. And we'll make 10 of them. It's not just going to be food though. These buckets are cool as shit because they're not too heavy to carry for women and children. And they don't take up much space. You can pack shit in there good. So I ordered some buckets just like these. I've never really been big into prepping until this coronavirus shit. And now it seems like it's almost too late, but I guess as long as there's grocery stores open, you could always fucking buy extra shit. I've always had a shelf full of canned goods and a little bit of, lots of tools, things that you need to hunt and fish. I've always had a lot of that shit. So I never really thought it was necessary. But they're talking about a second wave of the fucking coronavirus. Who would have thought you needed fucking toilet paper more than anything? I'll show you in a minute. But I'm going to do 10 buckets. And I'm even going to show you how to use those Mylar bags to store shit for like 25, 30 years. Most of my prepping is going to be for 4 or 5 years. It ain't going to be for the 30-year haul. That's later. I'm poor. I can't afford freeze-dried food. That shit is way too fucking expensive. But I'll show you a way to store a bunch of shit for a long time. And they say canned goods go bad after 5 years. I'd say if you open it up and it ain't black and all nasty and it don't stink, it's still fucking good even after 10 years. I'm gonna do 10 buckets. I ordered these buckets off the internet and I paid way too much for them because I didn't feel like trying to find a place that had these square little 2-gallon buckets, because I think these are cool, and the way my shed's set up, I think they'll go nice on my shelf. I'll show you my shed, what I had before, and then we'll come back to the buckets. Alright, I was stockpiling, a couple shelves worth of food in case shit hits the fan. Shit that won't fit in the house because we run out of room. And as you can see, like, I had mice in here and I finally got rid of them, but some of the tops, some of this shit got a little rusty. And like that can right there exploded. It just squirted me when I picked it up. So I'm going to get rid of a lot of this shit because it's more than 5 years old. And I'm going to eat a can of this 5-year-old Spam on another video. I'll show you what it's like, see if it's any good. One other thing I learned about this, going through this, cleaning this up, is you don't want to put metal cans on a metal shelf. So get a liner, something to put down, piece of cardboard, because that just helps them rust, especially if you get moisture to them, which there's no moisture really except for in the air around here. But I had some mice and I had to lay out some traps, put some poison down. I got some cats now. Cats chase them off. So, but the mice that get in there and they'll piss on everything, man. They're fucking terrible. It's one animal. The two things you could eradicate entirely or 3 things: mice, flies, and mosquitoes. Worst fucking 3 things ever made. They're a curse on humanity. Or somebody's gonna say something smart ass like, well, part of the fucking ecosystem. I don't give a fuck. Fuck those 3 things. I hope they all die forever. Potted meat. You reckon you could get me some more potted meat? You know, another telltale sign is if it bubbles. Now this might have got dropped, but it feels like it's got some air pressure in there. So I'm thinking that this can's bad. Whereas, you know, you got this can here, it's perfectly fine. And we all know Spam lasts forever. That can's best by date was 2016. It's 2020. So, and it was probably sold in 2014 or 2015 because they give you quite a bit of time before they do away with it. So, I mean, that's still a good can of fucking Spam. Bacon flavor. See when this one is. That one don't even say. And that one's October 2016. Look at this can right here. That's from 2014, can of tuna. I'm going to try it. Fuck it. Look at the damn label falling off. We're going to try some of this shit and give you some entertainment. We'll see if it's any good or not. Bucket number 1. I'm going to put my canned goods in buckets. Like I said, bucket number 1 is going to be canned goods. It's going to be meat, chicken. We got these hams. They're so fucking salty, they'll last forever. You're going to want some meat. The fucking shit hits the fan. Cans of tuna. Some more chicken breast meat, smaller can. Spam, luncheon loaf, same shit. Spam is a little bit better tasting. This shit's outrageous. This is like $4 or $5 a can. Corned beef, super salty, lasts forever. It's another corned beef. Some Vienna sausages, or they call them Viennas. That's bucket number 1. Canned meat. Look at that. No more mice piss. More meat. More canned meat. Bucket number 2 is more meat. It's better meat. It's canned pork. You can make some badass pulled pork. These cans here are out fucking outrageous. They're like $9 a can. Between $7 and $9 a can. This is beef. Make sure you got some barbecue sauce prepped away. Some chicken. And we got some more sardines. Get a variety. The only 2 kinds I like are the mustard or the hot sauce. Another can of Spam. Can of tuna. Can of chicken breast. Some more Viennas. Some potted meat. And I even have some room for something else. But I'm going to call that a bucket. Fuck it. Since I got room left in bucket number 2, you're going to need a good can opener. Not no bullshit from the Dollar Tree. Buy a $10 or $15 can opener. Put that sumbitch in there. Alright, once you get your meat, protein, your main source, it's just what do you want? What do you eat on a normal basis? Lots of canned goods. Diced tomatoes, gonna need some of those. Pasta sauce. You know, anything that you eat in 30 days, or anything you use in your household within 30 days, you're gonna want to prep at least one. Some more tomatoes, chili, more tomatoes, pasta sauce. And I read somewhere where they say that pasta sauce in a glass jar lasts longer because it's so acidic that it'll eat through the membrane that they coat these cans in. And I've never had a problem. These are like $1 or less. You should probably get a case of them. if you eat a lot of pasta. Can't fit a whole bunch in these cans or in these buckets, but they're safe from the elements, you know, as long as you don't let them get below freezing or above 75 degrees. It'll last a good long time. You're gonna eat a lot of soups, you know, ravioli, that shit'll fill you up twice. Gonna have turkey day, cranberry sauce. Get you a lot of fruits. You're gonna need them if you're gonna eat all that canned meat, man. That shit's terrible for you. And even like pie fillings and things like that, because you're gonna want something sweet during the apocalypse. Fruit, more pasta sauce, and you should probably make a list. And when you're doing this, if you notice you don't have something, write it on that list so you can pick it up. You pick up 1 or 2 things extra every time you go to the grocery, you'll be good. More pie filling, pineapples, mixed fruit, blueberries, lemon pie filling, strawberries, berry medley, more mixed fruit. And some things I'm not going to put everything in buckets. I buy cases of stuff. I'm just gonna, and the cases are, you know, they're in cardboard, and I'll show you. They'll stand up against the mice. My main thing is mice getting on my shit, so I put it in my shed. But I've decided to keep a lot of this stuff inside now, so that might not be an issue for me. But either way, these buckets are pretty cool to me. This is just what I like to do. Fried apples, oranges, cherries. If you get gout and you're prepping, you better prep some damn cherries. Besides that, cherries are good. Peanut butters, jellies, jams. And all the space that's left over, you can put little things in there. Like you could stuff this stuff. These are freeze-dried fruit. Just basically to flavor things with, man. But they're freeze-dried to last 30 years. Shove them in your buckets, in between your canned goods. I got these from the Dollar Tree for $1 a pack. And there's almost nothing in that pack, but you know, you're gonna want some flavor. Come down to a struggle. You're gonna need something. Survival ain't just getting by. It's being less miserable. And a lot of these people go into this and they think they're just gonna eat beans and rice because they're cheap and they last 30 years. You eat nothing but beans and rice for 2 weeks and you're gonna be ready to eat a bullet too. Keep that in mind. Lots of canned goods. You just keep filling it up. There's lots of cool shit you can get that'll fill you up. Tamales in a can. This is 3 kinds of salad tomatoes. Corned beef hash. And when you're doing this, think about what's your favorite things to eat. Prep that. Find a way to prep it. Gonna need lots of spices. I sealed up a lot of my own spices. I order this spice fresh, so it's a lot better than buying spices like this, especially if it's something, you know, you really enjoy. I got a bunch of those. You should have a bucket full of spices and condiments, taco sauce, hot sauce, barbecue, ketchup, mustard, anything you use, mayonnaise. You can buy spices like this from the Dollar Tree for $1 a spice. They should last a good long time. Lots of stuff to make soups. Bouillon cubes, you need a bunch of these. Depending on how long you think, if shit hits the fan, how long is it going to be for? Think about all the things that you're probably not going to be able to get. Cheese. You ain't got no cow in your backyard. They got cans of cheese. This is pretty cool. I haven't tried it. Then you got nacho cheese. They even make canned bacon. The shit. It's $25 a can. That's why I only got one. But that's for the last day. Last day on earth. Going to eat some canned bacon. You just pull it. It sounds gross, but all you do is pull it out and then recook it. It gets crispy. It's just bacon. That's all it is. In your buckets, like I said, find little snacks to shove in there. Beef jerky, put around your cans. You're going to want maple syrup and honey. These two things last forever. Make sure it's organic and pure or raw, and it don't have anything to 20 years down the road you might have to heat this up to get it back to be a liquid, but it lasts forever. Apple cider vinegar, lots of garlic, anything you need to bake, baking powder, baking soda, cocoa powder, anything that's in your cabinet, you're going to need more of if you're prepping. And then, also extra measuring stuff. Shove this in your bucket, in between some cans. All right, so far I got 9 buckets of canned goods and spices and shit. I'll run out of room. So I'm making my 10th bucket, first aid shit. Get a nice first aid kit. There's tons of stuff in here. And I got a suture kit in case you get a cut and you got to sew it back together yourself. Blood clotting spray. Some blood blocking gauze. Blood clotting gauze. This shit's kind of pricey, especially that spray, I think. This is calcium hypochlorite. And this is what you want if you need to purify water. Just add it, make you instructions on here. There's just to do 10,000 gallons of water, this one little bottle. It's basically chlorine, but it's not chlorine, the dirty shit that they use in swimming pools. This is stuff that you could drink. And plenty of Band-Aids, plenty of gauze, tape, scissors. I have all that in my suture kit, in my first aid kit. Lots of rubbing alcohol and peroxide. And that's about it for the 10th bucket. Oh yeah, this is shit will make your skin numb. In case you do get a big old gash and someone's got to sew you up with some needles. Rub this shit on, wait a little while, it'll go numb, and you're in business. Now I'm out of these little 2-gallon buckets. Now I gotta go to the 4-gallon. I bought a bunch of 4-gallon buckets off a guy. Make sure you write down on your buckets what's inside your buckets. First aid. Alright, as far as canned goods go, I got a bunch of cases. Got a case of green beans, case of corn, case of refried beans, some asparagus, some mushrooms. This here is taco meat. It's just ground up hamburger, taco meat made by Pace. It's probably not the best tasting shit in the world, but you're gonna want some fucking tacos. Sausage gravy. This is canned bread down here. It's 12 cans of brown bread. I've never had it. I see a lot of preppers putting it on their shelves, so I figured, fuck it, might as well get me some. That's it for the canned goods. We're gonna go to the next category. All right, I don't buy a bunch of MRE stuff because it's usually, I find it to be pricey, and I'm kind of poor. But, you know, two things that I love, cheese and crackers. This is 24 little packs, MRE packs of cheese. We got regular cheddar, bacon cheddar, and jalapeno cheddar. This was fairly decent priced. This is what my 4-gallon buckets look like. This is called Pilot Bread, and it lasts for up to 30 years. They're like little crackers. Don't buy them in a number 10 can because they'll give you 9 ounces and they'll charge you like 30 bucks. Buy this box if you get any. Just 2 pounds of them, and yeah, they might give you a hard can, but let's see what they look like. Crackers. You know, you can put them in a bucket or something to protect them. Not as good as Ritz, but Ritz only lasts a couple months, maybe 3. You could probably stretch that, but this will last 30 years. The other thing I bought MRE wise is pizzas, because I found a deal on these, and I got 2 different brands, but they're probably the same shit. I got 6 on one place, and then I found a deal again. I got 12 more, and if you're gonna buy any MREs, look at the dates on them. These will last between 3 and 5 years. You know, this is just shit that you end up having to bug out and eat a bunch of shit you don't like. Every once in a while, you're gonna need a break from that. Get you a piece of pizza. Something else I found real cheap. I'm sure you've seen these in the grocery store or had one at least one time in your life. These little Armor meals. It's roast beef and mashed potatoes. All you do is heat this up in the microwave. This is sit on the shelf. You don't have to refrigerate it. There's a deal on them on Amazon. They're fairly cheap for a box of 6. And I don't really buy freeze-dried stuff because it's so outrageous. Got a few. Beef stew, biscuits and gravy. I've actually tried this. This ain't bad. All you do is add hot water, let it sit for a minute, you got breakfast. All right, containers like this, they're pretty good. Any type of nuts, usually last about 8 months. Raisins, I don't know how long they last, but I'm sure they're already a year old before you get them. So they might, I have no idea how long they last. Put it in the comments if you know. Soy sauce, I forgot to throw that in the condiments bucket. I can't live without onions. I put them in everything, so I gotta, and I found this fairly cheap. If you dig around the internet, sometimes you can find freeze-dried shit for a decent price. Most of the time, though, this shit's outrageous. Anything freeze-dried, especially freeze-dried meat. This is a chocolate milk replacement. All you do is add this to water. It's heavier than shit, so there's a bunch in there. And it's got vitamins and stuff in it. It's 20 bucks for this can. This will last 30 years. It's a chocolate morning mousse by Augustin Farms. They make a lot of freeze-dried shit. This is a company that still has decent prices, called Hoosier Hill Farms. Check them out. They make whole eggs. All you do is add water, mix this up, and you got scrambled eggs. Well, you got to cook them still, but it's powdered whole eggs. This is cheese powder. You got some noodles, macaroni and cheese, and this is whole milk powder. If you need milk for anything, if you're gonna, if you're gonna prep any dry goods, you're gonna be baking, you're gonna need this and this to make you some cornbread or something. And on to the big buckets. All right, we're gonna talk about some long-term storage. If you're gonna store long-term, things that last 30 years, 25, 30 years, you're gonna wanna put it in Mylar bags. These bags last forever. I was using these. Used to be you had to use these. These are just seal bags. You put oxygen absorbers in them. They end up looking like this. But recently they came out with these. And these are vacuum sealable Mylar bags. And they're a little more expensive, but I like using them better. They come out like this. Or like this. And for long-term storage, it's basically rice, beans. Long-term storage is basically rice, beans, noodles, things that last about 20, 25, 30 years. Now you could do things like mashed potato buds. I think these are freeze-dried. Even if they ain't, they gotta last more than 2 years. I've heard stories of people eating things that were past 5-year expiration date. As long as they're not molded or stinking or weird looking or weird smelling, it's still protein. Fuck it. Gonna do some pancake batter. All you have to do is add water. And when you got something, there's instructions to it. Just cut the instructions off the box, tape it to the bag, and store it away in your buckets. Get lots of pintos, super cheap, high in protein. White rice, don't prep brown rice, it goes bad. It only lasts about a year. White rice will last 30 years. Noodles last forever, especially if they're vacuum sealed. You want to get some oxygen absorbers. These don't cost jack shit. I use this food saver. Use these bags. You get 2 rolls for 30 bucks. You can fit quite a lot of food in 2 rolls. But I'm not gonna make you watch me vacuum seal this shit. I'll just show you the buckets at the end of this and you'll see how much food I've prepped. 10 buckets is the minimum. Do more, I'm gonna do more. I found a deal on buckets recently. I got a whole truckload of them. Better to have it than not to have it. With this COVID-19 shit, you never know what's gonna happen. There's 2 new strains out. They're supposed to be deadlier. They already fucked up the food chain. They're probably gonna fuck it up even more. So you better get to the grocery store, especially if you got a family. Now you can hunt your meat, but you don't need shit to go along with it. Alright, I'm going to show y'all how to vacuum seal one, just in case you decide to go this way. Got your bags up here. About to do these potato pearls. So, I'm going to go big. And you can put this into 2 different bags. But I'm going to go ahead and put it in one. So I'm going to make a bag about like that. This is a real good cheap food saver. You can get them brand new in a box. This is a cutter right here. You cut your bag. Right in here, this line right here is what seals it. I'm going to seal it right here. It's a little tricky using one of these things first. I had to watch a video and learn how to do it myself. So you seal it, and double seal both ends. Later on, you could take, if you have a wife or a daughter, they usually have something called a flat iron or a hair straightener. You could seal these bags with one of those. They seal with heat. So I've just scooted in, seal it again. So there's 2 seal lines. That's what you want. Now later on, you can go back over it and seal it even more. Now you basically fill it up. Okay, I'm gonna take you in closer. See this little lip? You want to tuck the bag down inside there. That's the trick, tucking that bag in there. All right, if you're tucking that lip, sometimes it's tricky with these bags here. You gotta make sure all the air is out. So what I do is I kind of assist it by holding it up just a little bit. And if it don't start going, hit cancel. And just wiggle it around a little bit until it catches. And hit vacuum seal again. You don't want it to seal until all the air is out. You'll see the air leaving. Cancel. You don't want it to seal all the way. Keep doing it until that's good and tight. Try and make level off your material here. Let's try it again. Lift it, kind of pull back a little bit, maybe. We're almost there. See, it's stuck. It's taking some of the air out. You don't have to do that with a regular vacuum seal bags. It's just these Mylar ones. It's a real slippery material. There you go. That's what you want. Put 3 of these oxygen absorbers in there. Oxygen is what makes your food go bad. This shit should last a good long time. I lift it up, I pull it back just a little bit, push it down, hit seal again, double seals the bag. You can use these and rely on the oxygen absorbers to get the air out of them alone. But to me, I'd rather be 100% and not waste, just in case, 30 years down the road, shit ever did hit the fan like that. And you're eating this rice. You open a bag and it's bad, you're going to be pissed off. Can't live without cornbread. I'm going to put a couple of these boxes in Mylar bags. Alright, I'm about to vacuum seal a bunch of oatmeal. I like that flavored shit. My favorite one's the peaches and cream. So I'm going to pour all these into some vacuum sealable bags and put them in a bucket. Say fuck it. We'll vacuum seal up some tea bags. Tea will last up to 3 years vacuum sealed. Next, I'm going to seal up some brown sugar. Brown sugar will last forever. They say it's best tasting within 2 years, but it'll last forever vacuum sealed. So if you do have these types of bags, there is a way to use them in a vacuum sealer. Basically, you want to cut this off here and then take some regular vacuum seal material. See that? See the texture there? And then you want to cut a little strip off. Get you a little strip of regular vacuum seal. You want to just put it in your bag like that. See that? If you don't want that hanging out, what you do is you vacuum it there, and then you move it in a little bit and vacuum it, and then cut that off. I'll show you. Then I'm going to seal it behind that. And I'm going to seal it twice. And give it a second. Seal that same seal twice to make sure it's good and sealed. Or you could get a flat iron, hair straightener. You could use an iron, anything like that. You heat that Mylar up, it seals to itself. Then you take it, basically, you cut right there. There you go. You vacuum sealed regular Mylar bag, because these rolls are a little more expensive. But you know, I got a bunch of these because I ordered these first. This didn't used to be available. And how you vacuum seal is that material. If it's smooth all around it won't seal. I'm gonna vacuum seal some salt. This salt lasts about 5 years because it's iodized. Sea salt lasts forever. I'm doing a little bit of both. I already did my sea salt. I forgot to videotape it. If you're gonna use these thicker Mylar bags that had the, like I showed you, if you're gonna do that trick, you're gonna have to seal them with this. This won't seal them good enough. It'll seal them for a second, but then you get out your wife's hair straightener and you put a seal on it. I'll show you once this thing heats up. All right, basically, just go around the edges. Just go around the edges like that. Leave it on there for a minute. You see how it's all crinkled? It's all stuck. All right, I'm about to vacuum seal 20 pounds of sugar. Keep in mind, if you plan on shit ever getting real bad, having to make your own fuel, you're gonna want a lot more. You're gonna want a whole bunch of sugar. You can make ethanol, you can make moonshine, you can make beer, anything alcohol related. You're gonna need a lot of it, a whole bunch. But this is just for short term, whatever. And sugar is the one thing that you don't want to add oxygen absorbers. If you add oxygen absorbers to this and you vacuum seal it, it will turn into a brick. Everything else you need oxygen absorbers, but sugar, don't use them. All right, I wanted to save some toilet paper, put some up, because past experience with this COVID-19 shit, no toilet paper, nowhere. So finally they got some, and this is the toilet paper I use, Charmin Ultra Strong, because I got an industrial strength asshole. I'm gonna put some up in case there's another toilet paper shortage. And also something that's just pretty cool. I'm gonna use this 4-gallon bucket because there ain't much room in this 2-gallon bucket. They got these. You could order these off the internet. It's called toilet paper tablets. And there's 500 tablets in this bag. It even comes with a couple travel carriers. Basically you get a little bit of water, get that thing wet, and it unravels, turns into like a baby wipe. So if you're careful, you can wipe your ass 500 times with that one bag. Now, since the COVID-19, the price of these are double now. But, I mean, look at that. That's almost like cloth. That's pretty tough. I'd watch flushing too many of them. But I'm gonna get a couple more probably. I think that bag's like 40 bucks. I don't remember. It's been a while. These are good to have around. I'm gonna fill this bucket up. Can't fit too many rolls in one of these buckets. Let's see. 3, 4. Won't fit much. Them tablets, that's 500 ass wipings. Let's see, I bet I could fit one on the side here. Yeah. 7 rolls. This is thick shit too. So, keep your ass wiped. Alright, this next bucket's the most important. You're going to want to get a bunch of liquor. These are little plastic pint bottles. Got me a 4-gallon bucket and we'll fill it up. Get a bunch of vodka, some whiskey, some rum, whatever you like. Not only will you be wanting to drink this, you'll be able to use it for money if shit ever really hits the fan for that long. Ain't nobody gonna have none of this. Even if you got a still, it's still good to have. But yeah, you should have a still. You should have 2 big bags of distillers or dry active distiller's yeast in your refrigerator. Do not freeze it, but you can refrigerate it and it will last around a year. Maybe longer. I don't know, I've never tried it after a year. Never needed to. But shit really hits the fan and you run out of yeast. You can make homemade yeast out of flour or potatoes. It won't be as good as liquor yeast or wine yeast or beer yeast, but it'll still make alcohol. So get you a bucket of liquor, get you some of the little hotel minis, and fill up the rest of the way. Very important bucket to have. All right, something else I'm gonna do is I got some flour I'm gonna pack up. The flour only lasts between, they say on average 8 months. It'll probably last a good year, maybe longer. But if you get wheat berries, they last up to 30 years. So I'm gonna vacuum seal these with some oxygen absorbers. And this is real cool to have. This is it's a hand crank mill. It mills your flour for you. It mill corn too, and anything. Come in handy for making your own flour or cracking corn so you can turn it into alcohol. This thing was 30 bucks. Not much. You can make your own flour, crack your own corn with it. If you are going to want to make liquor or make your own methanol, make sure you got a couple 100 pounds of cracked corn. It's cheap. It's like $7 for a 50-pound bag at the feed store. So, you know, get you 2 bags of it, put it up somewhere. Shit hits the fan, you make your own gasoline. Okay, so far I got 5 of these plumb full. Vacuum sealed stuff. I'm gonna do 2 more. I'm gonna do a bucket with, I got a bunch of grits, got some more oats, and I got some cream of wheat I'm gonna do. And then I think I'm good after that, unless I forgot something. As far as the canned stuff and pantry foods go, I forgot the Gatorade powder, anything with electrolytes, Pedialyte powder, Gatorade powder, drink powders. Forgot to talk about cereal. I'm going to store some cereal. They say cereal don't last that long, but it depends what's in it. I had a box of Chex, 5 years old, opened it up, it was good as new. It was a little bit, tasted a little tiny bit different, but it was good, man. Ate the whole box, and didn't get sick. And cereal bars, granola bars. Those are the things I know I'm missing. Over time, I'm going to add another bucket here and there until I feel like I got a good amount. This stuff, you never know when something bad's going to happen. We had a tornado not too long ago, and thank goodness it didn't fuck with me, but it fucked everybody else in town up. And coronavirus is fucking everybody up, shutting everything down, putting everybody behind, and now we got huge snowstorms. Even Texas has a snowstorm, and they don't know what to do down there. So you never know when you're going to need some shit. That's all I'm saying. I'm not crazy. I never was big into prepping until recently. But when you see everyday stuff change, I mean, we've been in a damn quarantine for over a year. And that's just fucking insane. It's crazy, but we have no choice. They shut down that grocery store, or they fuck with them farmers, you're gonna need some shit. Either way, if you like my video, that's cool. If you don't watch it. Fuck your mama, bitch!